How old were you when you kind of say, I'm a little different? And then how did, your parents take it and stuff like that?
I knew I was different when I was young, like 7, when I was in Vietnam.
Oh wow, so you
Okay.
knew young.
Yeah,
Okay.
I knew for some reason. I think it's the truly blessed that I knew I was different.
Yeah.
I knew what my passion is back in the day was fashion.
Yeah.
And I knew that it's gonna be a disappointment for my parents because as the only child, as a son,
Yeah.
who's not gonna be married to a woman and have kids and carry the name. It's gonna be a disappointment if I'm gonna do fashion. But I knew deep down that I'm a good person. And I know that I will find ways to pay back to my parents
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
And it will take time to do that. And I knew that I have to work at it. And so I did not come out to my parents until I was 36.
Wow,
Oh, wow.
36.
I'm gonna do crossover. I'm gonna cross back.
Yeah.
So I create a collection of just beautiful gowns, like
Yeah.
red carpet style.
Yeah.
And literally 3 weeks after that, J-Lo wore my dress on American Idol.
So was that when you felt like you made it?
Nope.
Oh no! What?
So it was just going from J-Lo to Ariana Grande, wore my stuff on her MV video, and then Met Gala moment with Lala Anthony, and then but it's always like you have to read the caption to know that it's my design.
Yeah.
What's happening, my good people? My name is Rango Lee,
And this is Mylin Pham.
and welcome to
To
Blessed
Blessed Boaters.
Boaters, home of raw and uplifting stories of the human experience.
Today we have a special guest, Thai Nguyen. Thank you so much for being here on Blessed Boaters.
Thank
It
you.
is such an honor. And those of you know, Thai Nguyen has been on Netflix, Bravo. Netflix is Say I Do.
Yep.
Bravo was Launch My Line in 2009, correct? And he's done so many amazing designs for celebrities on the red carpet and so and so. So we can talk a lot more. You just have so much, and I'm not going to go through the list. If anything, Google it.
Yeah.
Paris
Yes,
by
yes.
Night.
Paris by
by
Night.
Night.
Wait, you started out with Paris by Night,
Yeah,
right? Oh
yeah.
my gosh. And then not only that, Ty and I met when I was Miss Vietnam, Washington. Of those of you who haven't met me or know that I was Miss Vietnam, Washington, he was one of the designers that I had an honor to meet, and super humble. And I've always loved you from the start.
Thank you.
From
And I
hello.
love you.
Yay! Welcome, Thai Nguyen.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Rango and Mylene. And hello to everybody who's watching Blessed Boaters.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what brings you to town?
You.
Oh, all right. We did.
Actually, this is like coming home. I grew up in Olympia. I came to Olympia in 1993. That's when I first came to America.
Wow.
And confession, I was not a boat. My family was not boat people.
Yeah.
We flew.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Blessed planer.
Blessed plane.
Oh, whatever vehicle it is,
Yes.
it is blessed.
But I understand the experience. I know their experience. I know people who went through that journey, and I'm grateful
Yeah.
that we are here and we are living, and we are trying to do some specials, make a difference
Yeah.
for our culture, our Vietnamese culture in America.
Thank
Yes.
you. Yeah, very
Yeah,
important.
We gotta honor our ancestors because, again, I'm gonna say this over and over. We have to appreciate all those who sacrificed everything for us to have the opportunity that we have today. And so, yes, thank you so much, Rango, for Blessed
Yes.
Brothers.
Yeah, it all started, with my mom's refugee
Yes.
story, escaping war-torn Vietnam. That's me right there. She's holding me and my 2 siblings. My mom alone, but no, my dad already left Vietnam. She came over, spent like 2 weeks out on the water. Thai pirates came on the boat. We almost died, ran out of gas. And, single mom, she's 25 at the time. But that's just one story. Your parents sacrificed so much
Yep.
to get to America. Your parents sacrificed so much to get to the refugee camp in Philippines where you were born.
Hong Kong, but close.
Hong Kong, okay.
Yeah.
Very, very close.
Same country.
But we did have to go to the Philippines to learn English. That was one of the criteria to make sure that we were going to survive in the U.S. And
Yeah.
so we did have to have a certificate in Philippines.
Wow.
So we're standing on the shoulder of giants.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing this, to honor our
Yes.
four
Oh.
Yes.
mothers and fathers.
Oh.
Yes,
Goosebumps
yes.
everywhere.
For our parents.
For
Yeah.
parents, grandparents, everyone, and all those who have
I was,
sacrificed.
as I was driving into work today to the studio here in Seattle, I was thinking about like what we're doing here, right? And I feel like right now with what we're doing, you're doing with just the fashion and all the amazing gowns, and we're doing with the podcast, like it's our kind of like Vietnamese Asian Renaissance time, like in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Back then, it was just all just survival. Like they were just trying to not die from the plague. Like
Yeah.
there was no art, no history, no like fun stuff, no
Yeah.
creative stuff. For our parents, it was kind of the same thing. When they first got it, it was only hustle. It was only to survive, so we're not homeless.
Right.
But for our generation now, we can get up and we're not worried about food. We're not worried about shelter. We have jobs. But now it's about what else we're going to do with the time, right? To
Right.
get creative, to give back, to create something beautiful.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what we're doing here.
And that's the
Aw.
luxury.
Yeah.
Not
It's a luxury.
everybody have that luxury, and that's why I'm very grateful, and we are very grateful.
Yeah, it's a
Very.
privilege. Like,
Yes.
so take advantage of this opportunity.
Yes, and so take advantage of the opportunity, and do something good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So go ahead.
So we know a little bit more about you because you and my Lynn got history. I just met you today, but I do feel like I know you from the Netflix shows I've been watching with my wife. It was really good. It's Say I Do on
Yes.
Netflix. Great show. Go
Thank
out and
you.
watch it if you
Thank
haven't.
you.
Tell us a little bit about your background. How was it like growing up in Olympia, which is a suburb of Seattle, and why did you move to Orange County, LA?
Yeah. So my name is Thai Nguyen, and I came to Olympia in 1993, 13 years old, and stayed there until high school. And right after high school, I knew I wanted to do fashion at a young age because actually my parents had a private sewing school back in Vietnam.
Private
Sewing
school.
school.
They were teaching people how to become seamstresses.
Wow.
It's like a vocational school.
Yeah.
And back then there was no such thing as designer. It was more about learning how to sew to make a living. How are you gonna take care of yourself? And I just said just sign the paper. Just sign the paper so I can get accepted to school.
Yeah.
There was 3 choices, either LA, Miami, or New York, but LA was closest
Yeah.
to Washington. So I decided to go to LA and
Wow.
went to FIDM, a fashion school. It's a 2 years program, but my goal was to get onto the 3rd year program because
Wow.
that's where they only take 10 students. And then at the end of the 3rd year program, you get to do a fashion show. Be realistic. Just work with what you have. You can be a dreamer. You always need to dream, but be realistic. Don't get yourself into things that are not good for you. Don't put yourself in debt. Don't be in bad situation that you're just gonna dig deeper. So just be realistic, and you will get there. And so I graduated in 2003. 3 days later, so at that fashion show, they
Yeah.
gave each student 10 tickets, right? And 8 tickets, I gave it to friends and family.
Yeah.
Obviously, my parents were there, so they can see the fashion show. But
Yeah.
they didn't know what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
And the other 2 tickets, I decided to invite the Vietnamese press.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I knew the school will have the American press.
Yes.
Vietnamese
Press.
press.
Mhm,
Got it.
So newspaper
Yeah.
and TV
Oh, nice,
from
good.
Little Saigon. They came
Wow.
and they interviewed me, and literally Asia Entertainment was one of the music production. They saw that, and 3 days later they called me and they want me to do a fashion show for them in Toronto for Asia 37.
Isn't
Wow.
that insane?
It's-
Oh my gosh.
You make it sound like
So easy.
so easy. Like
It
it
is,
just.
but it's to let people know it's very easy. You just have to find your ways and just be genuine. Like
Yeah.
don't try too hard and just make space for yourself.
Don't you feel like there's more competition now than it was before?
Yes, there's always competition, and obviously now we live in the world of social media. It's really hard, but if you be true to who you are and you you don't want to be like anybody else, then nobody can take that away from you.
Yeah.
And
Love that. Love that.
yeah, and if anything, is you use it as a inspiration or as a motivation, but don't think it as a competition. I never liked competition. Like you say, in 2009, I was doing this
Launch
Bravo
My
show. Launch My Line. It was a spin-off of Project Runway. It was
Yep.
competition, but to me, it was more about exposure.
Yeah.
I wasn't there to compete. I was the best sewer, and I knew it, and they knew it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't confident because I was new. I was young, 29, didn't have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
So I was a mute. There was no personality. I was just sew.
You were sewing. I saw the.
I was
saw
just
the-
sew.
sew.
And then I
Yeah.
just like, but it was a learning experience. 10 years later, that same casting director reached out to me for Say I Do for
On
Netflix.
Netflix.
So just to let people know, be good and just be mindful of who you're working with because they will remember you. He remembered me 10
Yeah.
years later.
Because you were you were the only child.
I'm the only child.
So you have, your parents put a lot of hopes and dreams into you, right? And Vietnamese parents all want us to be doctors, lawyers, engineers,
Exactly.
and you were like, I want to be fashion. I want to do fashion. Now, when did you know Was there a moment where you're like, okay, yeah, this fashion stuff, I feel like that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pursue it in school. Was there a moment or inspiration that you had that you knew that fashion was your?
Yeah, when I was in high school, I knew right away, like science was not my thing.
Okay.
Not my thing. I knew that art, fashion, I was always trying to find ways to do with like drama club. I was trying to be creative. Though recently on a project that I'm doing for a documentary, they were like, we all had like like different journey during high school.
Yeah.
Some are good, some are bad.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were like really was digging for like the bad stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah.
what happened to you in high school? And I
Yeah.
was like, nothing happened. Like
Oh, God.
I always find like a protector. Like
Oh.
someone will protect me.
Yeah.
Whether it's the group that I'm in, whether it was a teacher, like for my case was Mr. Underlin, English
Underlin?
Underlin, Brad
Underlin, Brad
Underlin
Underlin.
at Olympia High School.
Shout
He
out
was
to
my-
Brad
He
Underlin.
was
Yes.
my protector. Miss Jensen was the one who like
Wow.
let me be creative in her home ec class.
Wow.
And she was the one who invited the representative of the fashion school to Olympia. So I
Wow.
can see what they do at their school. So I always find, and 3 days later, came over from Vietnam, September 9, 1993. 3 days later, my uncle, who's sponsored my family to
Yeah.
Olympia, took me to Olympia, to Chùa Linh Hoa.
Yeah.
It's the Vietnamese Buddhist youth group.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my home.
Yeah.
Like after school, I was at Chùa.
Yeah.
And I teach the kids Vietnamese because
Yeah.
my Vietnamese was good at
Good.
that age. But then I learned English with the kids.
Yeah.
And I learned English with Bante, who was the master monk at that temple at the moment. He was from Sri Lanka,
Wow.
and we communicate through English.
Wow.
And he taught me English.
Well, you had challenging experiences, but then you don't let it get to you so much
No.
like someone
No,
else.
yeah.
Because as
Mindset, right?
I'm sure people already know you're gay.
Yep.
And so let's talk a little bit about that because I'm sure that wasn't easy to. So how old were you when you kind of say I'm a little different, and then how did your parents take it and stuff like that?
I knew I was different when I was young, like 7, when I was in Vietnam.
Oh, wow. So you
Okay.
knew young.
Yeah,
Okay.
I knew for some reason. I think it's the truly blessed that I knew I was different.
Yeah.
I knew what my passion is back in the day was fashion.
Yeah.
And I knew that it's gonna be a disappointment for my parents because as the only child, as a son,
Yeah.
who's not gonna be married to a woman and have kids and carry the name. But I knew deep down that I'm a good person. And I know that I will find ways to pay back to my parents. I knew that I have to work at it. And so I did not come out to my parents until I was 36.
Wow,
Oh wow.
36.
But did they know though? You know, sometimes parents have this intuition. They just don't want to say it and let you kind of know. Are you? They said they had no
Because
idea.
I've always been like, very creative.
I know.
Artistic. I was more and singing at the wall.
Yeah.
But
Did you
was-
have girlfriends back then? And
I was with girls all the time.
okay, so then
Yeah,
they're like,
because they
But-
love
hanging out with
you.
girls.
They
But
love you.
They just love me. They just love me for who they just want. The thing is, like, my parents are they're not really progressive because they're immigrants, and
Yeah.
they just go to work. Like literally, I have seen my parents come to America, go work at this at the sewing factory, just sew,
Yeah.
and then at night they'll go clean buildings.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's most of our parents, right?
Most of our
And you-
parent journey.
Like
Most
age,
of parents.
age 13, my mom was sick and she couldn't do it, and I had to go and help my dad, but I have to hide because you not.
Oh, 'cause
cannot
you're a
let
kid.
Yeah, that's the moment that motivated me. That doesn't matter if I'm different, doesn't matter, but what I'm not gonna meet their expectation, but I will not disappoint.
Nice.
I would not let them be disappointed. I didn't want to come out when I didn't have the ability to do that for them. So at age 36, I was like, I can do this for them. If they disown me, I can still be there and help for them.
Thanks for
Share that.
opening up about that.
Yeah.
Your journey there, it was not easy, I'm sure, and sharing with us and the audience, that's. I feel like I know you better now.
Thank
We're
you.
connected, even though we just met today. But like, you just bringing down your guards and just you being real, right?
Yeah.
'Cause-
He's always been like this though.
No, but
he's
it
always
was-
been humble to anyone. It's real. Like you talk to him, it's real.
well, I think a lot of the audience could relate to where, we all go through really hard life challenges, but it makes us who we are, right? It's a journey, and that if you could share that and go through it, and now successful and just doing what you love, they can do it too, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be
Yeah.
ashamed of the hard
I
experiences
think
that got us
every
here.
journey is different. Your journey is different. Your journey is different. I think we just have to look on the bright side because it doesn't have to be always dark and
Yep.
negative.
Do you have a dark time?
I was
I don't know, rainbow butterflies. I'm
rainbow
not
butterflies
sure.
because that's how literally, like I said, I don't need a vice
Yeah.
to get me going, right? I don't need a vice.
You're your own
but
motivator.
Be motivated, be rainbows and butterflies. That's what get me going. But it was a lonely journey.
Oh, lonely
Was
journey.
It was a lonely journey.
Yeah, I'm sure at
You
times.
felt alone?
Yeah, girl.
Wait, only kids.
Well,
Parents
well, I
don't
don't
know
know.
I've
who he really
always,
is.
and I say
Yeah.
this all the time, I've always wanted older brother and older sister.
Yeah.
So then I can share.
Oh, lonely as in like, because you were the only child.
Lonely as in
The
so
world?
many things.
Yeah.
Like going through school by myself, going through college by myself.
Different city too.
Different city. The roommate that I had to deal with by myself.
The roommate.
the internship I go to, and they were like, they put me with the sewers. They didn't even put me in the design room
Oh, yeah,
because
Oh, wow.
because I was Asian, because I was like part of the help. Even until like the Netflix show.
Yeah.
It's life-changing experience.
Yeah.
Life changing.
Life-changing. I was like, how in the world that I get to be
Yes.
90 countries, right?
It's so
Huge.
crazy.
And then there was 3 of us.
Yeah.
And there was Jeremiah, who's white, Gabe, who's Italian,
Yes.
and there's me, Asian.
Yes.
And the whole time we were shooting that show 3 months in Ohio,
Oh, in
Ohio?
in the Midwest.
Oh, they picked
Wow.
Ohio as the main headquarters
the
for the
Midwest.
show. How come they chose Ohio out of all the great cities in the world?
It's actually really beautiful.
Oh, is
because
it? Okay.
all the architecture was very like original architecture.
Is it
The
Cleveland,
venue-
Ohio? Cleveland or
No, it was Cincinnati.
Cincinnati?
We were
Ohio.
in Cincinnati, Columbus, and then we went to Kentucky. Because there's like a tri-state just
Yeah.
by
Yeah, I
crossing
heard
over
that.
the bridge.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of Asian.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
for sure.
And but they are, because they're not like New Yorkers, they're not LA, they're not jaded. So
Yeah.
you get the raw,
Oh, the
vulnerable,
real
like
raw.
vulnerable feelings from
Yeah.
the couples.
Yeah.
But the whole time shooting, I was like, you know what? I get this opportunity. I'm grateful. I'm just gonna have fun.
Yeah.
I don't care if Jeremiah is the star. I don't care if Gabe is the star. I don't care. I'm not the star. I don't really care.
Yeah.
And then when it came out, and you have no control of editing.
Of course,
'cause
of
it's
course.
reality.
Yeah.
And then when it came out, I was watching it with my partner, Kevin, and one episode after, and I was like, I think they made me the star.
You're like, hello.
And then like my
gosh.
face is on
Yeah.
there, you know, and I was like, so it's like based on my personal story.
I felt like you brought them together. Like you guys, you were like the core that brought
great
everyone
team.
together.
But
you
I did
know?
a great
not.
team.
I did not expect that.
Yeah.
I didn't because I was the Caucasian guy is gonna. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, he's
Yeah.
gonna,
Tall
and he's
and-
well spoken, and he's like handsome, and he's like doing it all, and he's more well known. First day of shooting, like everyone else, nervous, didn't really speak, and I just let Jeremiah and Gabe speak. Jeremiah was very well spoken, and I was just sitting there. I was like, oh, so good, so good. I didn't really say anything, and then the executive producer pulled me on the side. He's like, Thai, this is not the Thai that we know. You have your own opinion. Why aren't you speaking? And I was like, I don't know. There's so many cameras, and then there's like certain point that we have to hit, and I feel a little insecure with my, English is my second language.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, we picked you for a reason. We know English is your second language.
Yes.
But that's what's charming about it. The whole America might not know or understand what Jeremiah is saying, but they will understand what you're saying. So be yourself and just speak your mind.
Powerful.
Literally,
Oh,
that
wow.
one message changed the whole shooting.
We're here now with Sheila Lavadia, my #1 loan gal. I've been using her and her team for 20 years. She never disappoints. Great interest rates, best service, fast pre-approvals. You gotta check her out.
Wow, fast pre-approvals, competitive rates, and friendly customer service?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you for having me here. Yes, whether it's your first-time home buyer or an experienced investor, I can definitely help you with a very competitive rates here, and I can teach you all about mortgages. So check me out at loansbysheila.com, and I will see you there.
Check her out.
If you're in the mood for delicious Vietnamese cuisine and pho, make sure you hit up Pho Bak. They have 2 locations in Seattle. Also, check out The Boat. They have this fire chicken and rice dish. You'll thank me later. If you're in the mood for an elevated Vietnamese food dining experience, check out Anchovies and Salt down there on the shores of Lake Washington. Beautiful views and beautiful vibes. You gotta try Saigon Drip for elevated Vietnamese cuisine, the newest, hottest restaurant to hit the Seattle scene. Make sure you order the banh mi dip, and on weekends, exclusively the bum boi wai soup. You won't be disappointed. Go get some now. What's going on, guys? My name is Rango Lee,
And I'm Elise Lee.
I'm Mylin Tham.
and we're the Powerhouse team. 3 local realtors that serve the Seattle Puget Sound area. If you need to buy or sell a house, we're your team.
Reach out to us and we'll help you find your dream home in Seattle.
Call us. We got you.
We got ya.
Got you.
I feel like you're just a really mature spirit. Like what you've been
Yeah.
going through since a young age, I just
He
feel like
is.
you're just
An
good
old
head on your
soul.
shoulder, old soul. That's the first thing. So I feel that. And the second thing is I love how you're sharing with the audience and us just to keep it simple, but be passionate about that one thing that you really love
Yes.
doing it. And and take bite-sized pieces so you
At
could
a time.
get to your goals, and then let the chips fall where they may after that, because you can't control what's going to happen. You're the main star or you're the co-host, whatever, but just do it, take care of what's in front of you, do it to your best ability, have fun, and just go enjoy the journey. So I love how you're sharing that with the
I
audience.
think we're done with the interview. You summarized it.
Yeah, he summarized it, right? Well, the thing is like he was talking about like, not everybody's journey is the same, right?
Yeah.
Some
Right.
people, it's not always about pain to power, right? It's not always about the pain. Man, you laid your life out really well, but his is very
His journey's
inspiring
from
in a way.
power to power.
Yeah, power. I mean, I'm sure he went through some stuff,
Yeah.
but then the thing is his mindset was so strong, and the drive and the why and what he
Focus.
wanted and the focus
Focus,
was
yeah.
there. And he didn't, like he said, he was realistic. I'm actually the same way because, got a little bite, a little chew, and then you
Yeah.
gotta re-navigate your life a little bit because
Yeah.
life is always changing all the time. So you
Yeah.
can't predict the future.
No.
But what you can control is now, the present. Right?
I mean, like I can do hair, I can
Yes,
do
you
makeup, they can do all that. But did I pursue and make it into a thing? No, because those things helps what I want. The main goal
Supports.
is what I want is fashion.
That's big.
And I
Yeah,
love that he doesn't compare. No competition. It's just
No.
him.
Yeah, and that's a good way
Love
to.
it.
It sounds like so. It's like you're competing against yourself, kind of right, to be better than who you are or maintain who you are. So you feel like a lot of what you're talking about has like a really like a Buddhist kind of spiritual
Oh, yes.
like background. Maybe share a little bit about that, then I think the audience and us can understand how you got this like
To this mindset.
presence more, non-attachment, non-competition. Share a little bit about your spiritual practices and maybe like how did you get into that spiritual religious practice from the beginning?
This world is temporary.
Yep.
It's not
Deep.
forever.
You're
know,
hitting
you know,
Ringo
these
right in
deep.
the spot.
Yeah, you know them.
It's
Yeah,
not
true.
forever. Even till this day,
Uh-huh.
I had this conversation with one of my friends over a Michelin dinner. She
Oh,
asked me
nice.
this question: how do you feel about this world? Because she have 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, the world is so crazy. I don't even know how to navigate. You don't have to fix everyone's problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just be present and live your life, and things will be okay.
Everything will
Powerful.
be okay.
And one day we'll be gone. We can't even take that with us.
Yep.
Yeah, like I think about my my son.
Yeah.
My son Hunter. He's 5. We have the same birthday, so I just love this guy to death.
Awesome.
Like we're very connected. So sometimes me and Mylene talk about like what happens if something happens to our kid. Like that's the worst
worst.
idea of any parent. But then how I help with it is he's just a steward in my care for now, and there's gonna be one day where we're gonna have to say bye. That's just how life is.
Yeah.
So enjoy the heck out of him
Yes.
while he's here, because you never know, what's gonna
Yes.
happen.
With so many things.
Yeah.
Like I was not afraid of failure. I fail a lot. Like
Really?
yes, trust
What?
me.
Tell me what?
Trust
Tell
me.
me what?
Business journey, creative journey. I have
Oh gosh.
collabed on so many things. I've created so many things, and this was when the show came out. I got to have meetings with like top agency in Hollywood, like CAA, WME, UTA, and I say no to them.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I went
Wow.
to a different agency because he was the first one I talked to, and I'm still with him till this day, even though, there's not a lot going on, but
Yeah.
I believe in Jung Tui, I believe in
Yeah,
loyalty.
loyalty.
Oh,
Right?
Jum Tui.
So was that when you felt like you made it? Was there that one time that you felt like you made it, and was that the one time?
Girl.
When was
Not
the
yet.
time where you're like, dang, Thai Nguyen made it. I made it, and I'm Thai Nguyen.
For a very long time, I did a lot. I graduate. I graduate. 3 days later, I was doing a fashion show for Asia for the
Yeah.
Vietnamese community. Also, I got a job to work at BCBG, the
Ooh,
fashion brand at
yeah.
the time, which is huge.
It was huge.
Yeah, BCBG, yes.
Yes, but I was like an associate, and I hated it. I was in there for 2.5, almost 3 years, and my boss was Louise. She's from Hong Kong, and I was in a denim department.
Oh, denim.
Addendum? What's
So
that?
you're a
Denim.
denim.
Oh,
A
denim.
So you're
Oh,
the
jeans,
designer
jeans.
for their denim line, whatever.
And I was
Yeah.
like, why am I doing denim? Like, I want to do dresses. I want to do it killed my soul.
Oh, really?
But
The pay was well, though, right?
I need
I'm sure.
that stability.
What-
I need that stability.
Yeah.
First check from BCBG, I bought a brand new car.
Wow. Okay.
Because
nice.
literally the whole time, 2003, I was driving a 1989 Toyota Camry that my parents drove it all the way to California for
They
me.
drove it all the way here from Vietnam, that Camry? Is
No,
that how old it is?
From Olympia, Washington.
Oh, God.
First check, get a new car. It was like a Nissan Altima. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool, So BCBG, and then literally during the day, working at BCBG at night, in this tiny room that I share in Chinatown. Tiny room, my bed against the closet, my desk a sewing machine. I have one square in the middle. That's where I cut.
Yeah.
And I do costume for Asia at night.
Wow, that's what you. Oh,
And
wow, I
LA
never thought.
to Orange County, 45 minutes driving back and forth in that 1989 Toyota
Who
Camry.
would? I would have never ever imagined and thought that he made all those beautiful gowns on Asia and Paris by night.
In a room that I share
Wow.
in Chinatown.
Yeah.
That's
very
insane.
And so, but then, and then 2-3 years down the line that I went to lunch with my boss, Louise. We went to Monterey Park. It's like, it's like Chinese area.
Yeah.
It was like at the Hong Kong cafe and she was having beer, for lunch.
Yeah.
How cool she is, right?
Yes.
And I was like, Louise, I'm really sorry, but I don't think I can survive anymore. I'm going to quit.
Oh wow.
And she was like, yeah, I know. You're there physically, but your heart is not there. So I decided to go back, focus full time with the Vietnamese community. There was 4 or 5 music production at the time, and that was like prime, right? So then I worked my way from Asia. I worked all my way to Tân production.
Yeah.
I worked my way to Vang Sung production.
Yeah.
And the ultimate
Dang.
was Paris by Night.
You hit every production possible
I hit-
in the
I
Vietnamese.
Like climbing the
became-
ladder. Yeah.
Yeah.
I became the prominent,
Yeah.
guy, the go-to guy
Yeah.
for the Vietnamese
That's
community.
huge. And let me give the audience some context here because Paris by Night, if you're Vietnamese, like that was the Super Bowl of anything our parents watched.
We grew up with
Yes,
was
we
Paris by
did,
Night.
we
Like that
did.
was the big thing. And yeah, my mom was there. She was just
my
so
gosh,
like,
I know. My mom's
yes.
like, oh my
But that's huge. Just
Yeah.
to give some context.
So then I just focus and just stay within the community. I learn, I make mistakes within the community. I started my business in my own studio. I quit BCBG 2006 and 2 years of like just running around, figure out, right? 2008, I started my studio with my own brand. And I didn't even want to, I didn't even want like I didn't even want like a name. I was like, I want my name to
Yeah.
be on the label.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're talking about you starting your own fashion line?
Yeah, storefront.
With you with
My
your
storefront.
Oh, storefront.
My storefront.
Oh,
my
okay. With
studio.
the name Thai
with
Nguyen.
$10,000 in my bank account.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's like
And
nothing.
lease was $3,000. Last month, rent was $6,000. I have $4,000 left.
Dude,
Yeah.
he got balls.
That's when I was like, I'm gonna do crossover. I'm gonna cross back.
Yeah.
So I create a collection of just beautiful gowns, like
Yeah.
red carpet style.
Yeah.
And literally 3 weeks after that, J-Lo wore my dress on American Idol.
So was that when you felt like you made it?
Nope.
Oh, Joy. What?
So it was just going from J-Lo to Ariana Grande, wore my stuff on her MV video, and then Met Gala moment with Lala Anthony. And then, but it's always like, you have to read the caption to know that it's my design.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want to put the Vietnamese, authentically who I am, on the carpet, on the collection. But they were like, no, your name is already so Vietnamese. That, it's
Gosh.
so Vietnamese. No. So even some PRs, some buyers, they were like, you need an American first name.
Oh.
So it's easier to sell,
Man.
easier to recognize. And I was like, my name is Thai.
How can I be
Hi,
so
my name is Thai. It's like Thai food.
How about
T-H-A-I.
it could be Tom Nguyen. That
Exactly.
sounds pretty American.
But so I listened, and then I text
You listened.
10, like literally 5 of my best friends. I was like, here's a list of American first name. What do you think fit me most? And they all text back, and I was like, hell to the no. Why do we have to hide ourselves to
Yeah.
fit in?
Right.
And we all go through this.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all do,
Right?
yeah.
We all go
I
through
didn't.
this. We hide, we shun our identity. We hide our identity so we can fit in. And so the Netflix show came out, and then I just told my story to the whole world. And I was like, you know what? That gave me power to just be me.
Yeah.
Right? And then boom, pandemic hit.
Ah.
COVID hit. Nothing happened. Back to zero.
Oh, gosh.
Zero business.
Oh, wow.
Nothing.
Dang.
No show.
Oh, yeah.
No client. No nothing. Being creative was my medicine.
Okay.
It was my way.
okay.
It's a form of expression.
It is true,
Okay.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Couldn't do anything. But I still get up every morning and get dressed. I had a, we still do Zoom. We do
Yeah.
all this. And then they had a segment where they were like, they had a question. They're like, "Hey guys, is this like from waist up? You dressed up, or is it the whole look?" I
Yeah.
stood up and say, "Hey, it's the whole look,"
Uh-huh.
because that's what's get me going.
Yeah.
I don't need coffee, but I need to get dressed up.
Yeah.
So then it was just so sad and depressed. And then all of a sudden I get a text from Kelly Marie Tran, Vietnamese American actress who I worked with before for Star Wars premiere.
Yeah.
And she texts me, I don't know where, and she's like, Thai,
Amazing.
Raya and the Last Dragon for Disney is premiering. I'm the princess. I'm the voice of Raya.
Yeah.
And I want to wear an ao dai
Have you
for
watched
that
Raya?
red carpet. I received that text was 3 days before the premiere. Woke me up from sleeping and woke me up from my depression.
Depression.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like, this is the chance. This is the opportunity. So to answer your question for the third time,
Yeah.
that was my aha moment, right? I was like, Kelly, I'm there for you. Whatever you need. She's like, yeah, we don't have a lot of time.
Just to give context again to some of the audience that don't know what an ao dai is. Ao dai is a traditional Vietnamese
garment.
You got
Garb.
dress.
It's a two-piece outfit with like a long tunic with pants. Must wear an ao dai with pants. Even though everything was already planned out for the premiere, she already have everything like dresses and everything planned out. But she was saying, and this is exactly what we said earlier when we started this whole interview.
Yeah.
She want to do it for her parents.
Yeah.
So she decided to wear the ao dai. All the Disney princess, like,
Yeah.
you know, Mulan and all
Yeah.
those people was on this Zoom and they all welcomed Kelly as the first Southeast Asian princess.
Yes.
And Kelly was in this ao dai and Kang Dam, you know.
Beautiful.
And there was like Gemma Chan and Aquafina and they were like,
Yeah.
oh my God, Kelly, what are you wearing? And then Kelly would just so proudly say, I'm wearing an ao dai, Kang Dam, designed by Thai Nguyen.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Oh my gosh,
That was
thank
a
you, Anna
great
Marie.
story.
And that became an iconic moment for Vietnamese all over the world because we were going through at the same time with the pandemic was Asian hate.
Asian hate, yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you so much, Kelly Marie Tran, for inspiring Thai Nguyen and our culture.
Yeah.
And it also inspired this little pink box.
Yeah.
Okay, Rango, you haven't seen it yet.
Nope.
You are
And-
such a macho man that you would not know what this is.
But look, he's matching.
I
Come on,
know.
Look at
It
that.
takes a real man to wear pink.
Right. And so it'll be his first time seeing it too. When I saw it, I hopped on it because I know you're not gonna make that many, and it's not gonna be, you know.
I mean,
yeah.
it was such because of Kelly with her red carpet moment. It was such a culture iconic moment, and it went viral that we decided to do this Kickstarter, and we got 600 pledge, like to created this for the kids.
Growing up, if you guys don't know me, I don't play with dolls. Chucky scared the crap out of me. Never did. But I had to buy this one because just it's such an honor. And thank you so much, Thai
And
Nguyen.
you know what's the beauty is that you bought it for yourself.
Yes.
You know, you don't have daughters.
No,
but
I don't.
I
don't.
You know, but no.
No, I love my boys, but I'm okay with that.
People, I have moms who bought it for themselves, bought it for their son because you don't know how's your son's gonna be.
Yeah.
And then daughters.
Yeah.
This is one thing that it represents Vietnamese as a whole.
Yes. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. I hope it can be a celebration of heritage that we're all proud of. XOXOXO, your fairy godmother, Thai Nguyen. Ooh. Oh my gosh. And you know, I haven't taken it out of the
And
box.
then you untie the waist.
Untie the waist. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
I've seen that. I've seen that dress now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so that's
You know, I didn't even take it out. Yeah, I'm scared to take it out of the box because I don't want to
and
ruin
she has
it.
a train.
Oh my gosh, look how beautiful. Here, I'm going to do a little 360.
Beautiful.
There you guys go. And if I get the close up with that, that's.
There's no Vietnamese doll out there
No, there isn't.
unless you go to Vietnam. But the dolls in Vietnam is like big boobs and small waist, and it's not even Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So we couldn't do the doll because it was a lot of investment to start a doll.
Yeah.
And this was more about the ao dai than the doll. So we actually used the Raya doll.
Yeah. Oh wow.
This is the Raya doll.
Oh nice.
So it's like
Yeah,
Kelly,
it's beautiful. It's
but in
Kelly.
a doll.
Yeah, it is
And
Kelly.
then we put the ao dai on it, and Disney
So
was
beautiful.
cool with it, and they were happy with it, and it was part of the whole celebration.
So why is it so important, Ringo?
Oh, we got a big mission out there. There's so much great talent around. We got to put that talent out and showcase it on the world stage. And that's what Blessed Voters is about. Come with us on the mission. We can't do it alone. We need your support.
Turning pain into power, inspiring and uplifting. Our mission is to do something real big, Ringo.
Real big.
Real big. We are giving away 100 or building 100 homes, free homes, all across Asia. And we cannot do this alone. We need your help. We need you to join the journey with us. If you resonate with this and you want more information about Blessed Voters, click on the description below or look at the description below. Follow us on all platforms, Instagram, YouTube, and podcasts. Is that right, Ringo?
That's right.
Join us and have a blessed day.